All right, guys, so one of the things I talked about, and this week coming up in your email, was about when life happens and you're not able to get into the gym, and totally get it. Whether it's sickness, life happens, sick kid, gotta work late, again, still try to get in some type of workout. And again, something's better than nothing. That's the name of the game. You don't want to take steps backwards. Even if you're maintaining, you're actually improving, right? Because in the past, a lot of people would say, I'm not exercising. I'm gonna show you 6 simple workouts. I listed them in the newsletter. I'm just for video purposes, just gonna show you 3 reps on each one. Full body, all right, and super easy. So even if you're doing them wrong, you don't have to worry necessarily like you could hurt yourself. I'm gonna start on the ground and I'm gonna show you guys a real simple, we're gonna do a bridge march. Many of you guys have done this here at the gym. This is a great drill because again, it's glutes, this is your deadlift for at home, and we're gonna get some core stability. So lying on the ground, make sure you don't bring knees in, bend knees and bring heels in too close. I actually want the legs a little further out. And I like if you can drive through the heel. If you keep feet flat, it's not right or wrong. I want to make sure you're really driving through the heel. Because some of you will push through your toes and you're using a lot of your quad. And the whole purpose, I want to light up the backside. So I'm gonna have you guys also go with a bent arm position. So just like here at the studio, we talk about driving elbows in the ground so you get your lats. Establish your bridge, extend those hips, get them all the way up. And then all I'm gonna do is proceed to march, where I'm gonna lift one leg and then lift the other leg. And I'm trying to do a good job. Here's the deal, here's the secret sauce. Don't let the hips, I'm gonna show you a bad rep. See when I lifted up a leg and I lost some stability. I want to see that as I exchange legs, as I do my march, I'm able to maintain that trunk stability. So I'd recommend 10 reps, all right? Driving elbows into ground. All right, from there, I'm gonna keep this really efficient. You're gonna stay on the ground. We're gonna go into a side plank. I'm gonna show you 2 variations. Your standard side plank, top leg is forward. I want you guys set up heel to toe. Before you get up, make sure you're a straight line. All right, sometimes in the studio, we'll see people and they're kind of have the elbow forward. And then some of you say, I feel my shoulder. Let's make sure, I want to make sure elbow, hips, ankles, nice straight line. Use that top hand to get yourself up. And then I'm going to go here. You guys all got your phones. You can look at a watch. I want you to go 15, minimum 15 seconds, up to, if you can pull it off, 30 seconds. Let's look at that top hand and let's make sure we don't crowd forward. So we're going right here. Whatever I do on one side, make sure you do on the other side. All right, from there, guys, we're gonna get you up on your feet. All right, we're gonna go now into our lunge. I'm gonna have you just go into a reverse lunge. So I'm stepping backwards, but I wanna add some mobility into it. So what I'm gonna have you do, we're gonna do our Atlas lunge. So step back, I'm going into my lunge, stepping back, this is my right leg. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach away from that leg I just did the reverse step with. And hopefully you can see the stress line in my clothing. You get a great stretch in your hip flexor. What I would recommend, give me 10 reps on one leg, then proceed to give me 10 reps on the other leg, okay? All right, so it is a body fat challenge, right? So we're trying to drop body fat. Up to this point, haven't gotten the heart rate up too much, a little bit with that lunge. So now let's go into our atomic squat. So start with a narrow stance and then go into our atomic. And here, I'm gonna pause. Knees are out, toes are out. When I come to that top position, I'm back into that neutral position. You're actually getting a little hip work because you gotta rotate out as you're doing it. All right, people with bad knees, right? And again, I've been there. So now, instead of the jumping, you can just give me an air squat. Quick as you can. So if you're not, again, maybe your back's a little funky, maybe that's why you're home resting, right? You haven't been able to make a workout. Just substitute air squat for the atomic squat. Now with this one, I'm gonna ask you to do 12, up to, if you can pull it off, 15 repetitions, all right? All right, now we're gonna go back down to the ground. We're gonna go into a push-up. I'm gonna have you guys, I'm gonna recommend doing a T-plank push-up. Again, we do them in here. We warmed you up with that side plank, and I wanted to turn on all these muscles on the side. So now, let's really hit some strength. I want you gripping the ground. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart. So I'm gonna pull myself down, rotate to the side, reach up, come back down. Boom, okay? right? I'm gonna give you a range on the push-ups, 8 to 10. Now, what if you struggle doing standard push-ups, right? Here's how you're gonna modify that. On the knees, give me your push-up, then proceed to go up on the toes and go into your rotation. Modified push-up, up on toes, reaching up. All right, so that's putting a lot of stress on the interior, front of our body. That'll work the backside. Working the back is one of the biggest challenges at home. Unless you have a chin-up bar, pull-up bar, some way you can do some rows, some of you may not. So I want to show you something. We're gonna just do a scapular reach. Don't need any resistance. We're just gonna overcome gravity. So watch this. Lying, and the term is called prone. This is fancy trainer talk. Face down. I want your arms out at about, and I have them right up on my side with my elbows at about a 90-degree angle. From here, all I want to see you do is lift the hands and elbows as high as I can off the ground. All those backside muscles are totally turned on. Reach overhead, come right back down, from here. Up, reach, back down, here. Notice I have the chin tucked. I'm not looking out. I want to keep my neck nice and neutral. And then the last movement, guys, get you on your back. We started on the ground, we're gonna finish on the ground and go to our dead bugs. You guys know we do these all the time, right? It's one of our, and again, I'm showing you movements that hopefully you're familiar with because you do them here in the studio. So let's get those knees in over hips. I want the ankles flexed, arms over chest. Now, you don't have myself, the coach is there. You have to police yourself. Press that back, flatten the ground. And now we're just gonna work in the opposite pattern. I'm extending the right leg, reaching overhead with that left arm. Other side. And I'm driving. Probably doesn't come up in the video, but I'm almost shaking a little bit in my mid because I'm really pressing that flat in the ground. And as you saw, I had to kind of correct. My feet started creeping up. All right, I want to keep this in nice and tight, shins parallel to the floor. Let me give you guys one more rep. All right, great routine you can do right there at the home. All right, we started with our bridge march. We got up on our feet, and then from the, after bridge march, we did our side plank. Then we got up on our feet. We went into our Atlas lunge. Then we did our atomic squat. We brought it back down to the ground. We did our T-plank push-up. All right, remember you can modify if need be. Then on our belly, we did our scapular overhead reach. A nice little reset. We finished on our back with a dead bug. All right, I would say go through that. No minimal time between exercises, 10 seconds maybe. Try to get through that whole circuit. Then give yourself about a 2-minute recovery period. And then rinse and repeat. You can go 3-4 times, but that's a great routine. We kind of hit a lot of muscle groups and you can get through that in 20 minutes. All right, guys, I'll see you at the studio.